That's 1 minute. See you tomorrow. In today's video, we're going to tell you a story that will make you lose your faith in Raggedy Ann dolls forever. Forget Hollywood. The real story of Annabelle is even worse. Soon, strange things started happening, and the doll became possessed by an entity known as Annabelle. Get ready, because we're about to take you through some events that will change the way you view dolls forever. In 1970, a nursing student in Connecticut received a vintage Raggedy Ann doll as a gift from her mother. The terror culminated when the boyfriend saw vicious scratches appear on his body with no explanation. She had just finished her first year at a local college where she studied nursing. She checked the windows, but none of them were open. At first, they were mostly nonsensical scribbles. But soon they formed coherent sentences that spelled out a chilling message. "Help me." The words seemed to appear out of nowhere, written in what looked like nail polish on walls, mirrors, and windows. Donna felt trapped and helpless. She couldn't figure out who was behind these terrifying messages. But instead of a ghostly apparition, the doll suddenly contorted into an unnatural position, its eyes seeming to glow with an eerie light. She wrote messages and scratched people, leaving behind signs that were both disturbing and hard to ignore. They performed an exorcism ritual to drive the demon out of the doll, but it was a fierce battle. Annabelle fought back, using its strength to fling objects around the room, shaking the bed, and even scratching the Warrens themselves. Lorraine handed the doll to Ed. He placed it in a box, sealing it tightly. Neither of them wanted to touch it again. The doll had vanished, leaving behind only an ominous note that read, "I'm in the house." The Warrens shared their story, warning others about the dangers of demonic possession. The mere mention of her name sends chills down my spine. We always appreciate your feedback. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Annabelle, a name that once symbolized childhood innocence, has now become synonymous with demonic possession and terror. What makes the story truly horrifying is the idea that such evil can lurk beneath the surface of everyday objects. The doll, once a symbol of childhood innocence, has now become a symbol of demonic terror. Annabelle's story serves as a reminder that the line between reality and nightmare can be frighteningly thin. Today, the doll is kept in a glass case at the Warren Museum, where visitors can view it from a distance. A sign warns against touching the doll, but some have been known to ignore it, and every time something happens. Panicked, the Warrens searched the house, but Annabelle was nowhere to be found. Had the demon returned? They never did find the doll, but years later, when the Warrens visited Donna, they learned that she still had scratches on her arms, a constant reminder of her encounter with Annabelle. They transported the box to the basement of their home, locking it away in a safe. Lorraine, determined to protect her friends, fought back with a prayer. She recited holy scriptures, calling upon the power of God to banish the demon from the doll once and for all. It was as if the demon wanted to be seen, to taunt its victims before striking. Annabelle was a demon, pretending to be a little girl seeking help. The goal was to deceive and lure unsuspecting victims like Donna and her boyfriend. Once inside the apartment, it used its demonic powers to torment them. Lorraine believed that Annabelle had already gained a foothold in Donna S' life and warned her that, if they didn't act fast, it could become impossible to stop. Was it just a sick prank by a friend, or something more sinister? She tried the doorknob, but it hadn't been forced. But the cryptic pleas for help only became more frequent and more urgent. But the demon didn't go quietly. Before vanishing, it promised revenge. The atmosphere grew heavy with tension and fear as the battle between good and evil reached its climax. With Lorraine's powerful prayer, the spirit was eventually banished, leaving the house in an eerie silence. The situation escalated when Donna S' boyfriend came over one night and swore he heard scratching sounds coming from the corner of her room. Donna, skeptical at first, dismissed it as her imagination running wild. But the scratching persisted, growing louder, until it was clear that something was trying to get their attention. Then the unthinkable happened. When Donna turned on the bedroom light, she found 3 deep scratches on her boyfriend's chest. No explanation. She screamed in terror as she realized that they were identical to those on the doll. Fearful, she called Ed and Lorraine Warren, famous paranormal investigators. Confused, she wondered if she'd left it unlocked. They spoke to Donna and her boyfriend, piecing together the strange events that had been happening. As they examined the doll, a chill ran down their spines. It wasn't just any ordinary toy. It was a portal to another dimension, a gateway to hell. The doll was possessed by an entity known as Annabelle, a demon that had entered the human realm through the doll. She decided not to worry about it and closed the door behind her. But then she noticed something strange. The doll had moved. It wasn't sitting in the same position as she had left it. She had placed it on a shelf, but now it was on the floor, lying face up. Its button eyes stared blankly ahead, seemingly mocking her. Shaken by the sight, she picked up the doll and placed it back on the shelf. Still, she couldn't help but feel uneasy. She had a small apartment all to herself. It was modest, but it was hers. This meant freedom from living under the roof of her parents. Donna could finally do whatever she wanted, whenever she wanted. That's when the Warrens were brought in. They believed it wasn't a ghost, but a demon. And demons can't enter a home unless invited. So who invited Annabelle? Who let this demon in? Could it be that the real story of Annabelle goes back further than anyone knew? Did the original owner invite the devil in without knowing it? That's what we'll try to find out together today. The doll appeared to move on its own, shake the bed, and even write messages. In the quiet town of Hartford, Connecticut, there lived a young woman named Donna. But Donna wasn't quite alone. She had company, a friend to help pass the long, lonely nights. However, things began to change quickly. Over the next few weeks, bizarre incidents occurred in Donna's life, and she couldn't understand why. Her name was Annabelle. Yes, like the doll. But there was no connection between them yet. Annabelle was just a normal rag doll, or so they thought. Her red hair was tied in a neat bow on the top of her head, and she wore a simple blue dress and white apron. Donna took her everywhere she went. She talked to her as if she were a person. But nobody else could see or hear anything unusual. One evening, Donna noticed something odd. The doll seemed to have moved slightly, but she dismissed it as her imagination playing tricks on her. One day, Donna returned home to find the front door wide open. As days passed, Donna started finding notes written in childish handwriting around her apartment. Donna tried to ignore the notes, hoping that whoever was behind them would eventually stop. When they arrived, the Warrens investigated the apartment thoroughly. Lorraine Warren, renowned for her ability to communicate with spirits, attempted to contact Annabelle directly. Demonic possession is often associated with symbols and rituals, but Annabelle's tactics were more subtle. Ed and Lorraine Warren knew they had to act quickly. After a long and grueling fight, the Warrens managed to drive Annabelle out of the doll. Once free from Annabelle's grasp, Donna and her boyfriend breathed a sigh of relief. But the story doesn't end there. Years later, when the Warrens opened the box to show it to a new client, Annabelle was gone. Annabelle has since become a well-known figure in the paranormal world. Perhaps the real horror of the Annabelle story lies in the fact that demons can disguise themselves as something innocent. If you enjoyed today's video, please don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment.